Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to Action Hour. I'm Madam Venom, founder of Lifeline4Gaza project. Think of me as your bridge between the stories you scroll past and the people living them every single day. Today I'm not just sharing another story, I'm sharing the reality of real people. So grab your snacks, your feelings, and let's get into it. Today's Action Hour is brought to us by Rashid and Rayan. Rashid is just 19 years old, living in Mawasi Khan Yunis, with 5 brothers and 1 sister. In a life that has been shattered and rebuilt inside a tent that never truly holds. On October 25, 2023, an airstrike destroyed his family's home and forced them to flee under a bombardment with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Since that night, they have been displaced, living in a fragile tent that keeps getting beaten, flooded, and torn apart by rain and winter storms over and over and over again. Their tent doesn't feel like shelter, it feels like a question the wind keeps trying to answer. Each time the rain comes, the floor turns to mud, their bedding is soaked, and they are left standing in freezing water with nowhere dry to sit or sleep. Winter in Gaza doesn't care that they have no mattresses, no blankets, no clothes for the cold. It just keeps coming, and every storm is another reminder that they have nothing stable, nothing safe, nothing that lasts more than a few days before it's washed away again. Rashid has escaped death 4 times. One day he went with his friends to get food. Just food for his family. The area was bombed and all of his friends were killed except for him and 1 other survivor. He has watched his home be destroyed, his friends martyred, his life turned into rubble and canvas and mud. He says he has seen the most heinous crimes with his own eyes, and now he wakes up every day in the same nightmare, trying to keep his family alive with nothing but his determination and a tent that collapses every time the sky opens. And then there is Rayan, another young soul carrying trauma instead of textbooks, learning what explosions sound like before getting the chance to learn what peace feels like. Together, Rashid and Rayan are part of a generation whose childhoods have been replaced by funerals, evacuations, and nights spent trying to keep water from swallowing the only space they have left. They are teenagers who should be planning their futures, not counting the times they nearly died. Despite everything, the bombing, the displacement, the hunger, the tent flooding again and again, Rashid finished high school with a 73 average in the humanities track. He studied by candlelight in a tent that might not be standing the next morning, surrounded by drones, shelling, and the memory of friends who will never graduate. His dream is heartbreakingly simple, to live just one day in safety, to feel what it's like to exist without fear, to maybe one day leave Gaza and know peace. Right now, his family is facing another brutal winter with almost nothing. No proper clothes, no real mattresses, no warm blankets, no reliable access to food, and a tent that the wind and rain keep trying to rip away from them like the rest of their life. He isn't asking for luxury. He's asking for a stronger tent, winter clothes, mattresses, and food so his siblings don't shiver or starve their way through the next storm. If you can give like their next dry night depends on it, because it does. If you can't give, then share this story like Rashid and Rayan's survival depends on your voice calling their names into rooms they can't enter. Talk about the 19-year-old who escaped death 4 times, who watched all his friends die on a food run, whose home was erased, whose tent keeps drowning, and who still dreams of a future beyond mud and mourning. Don't forget to like, comment, share, follow, subscribe, repost, whatever. Keep talking about them, even if you're alone. Don't let silence win, and don't forget about them. Free Palestine, free Sudan, and free Congo, and everywhere in between. And always remember, in the quiet, truth echoes. Just listen closer.